I've been paying a lot of attention to how cringed out I feel when somebody says, "What do you bring to the table?" Or, "Is that a high achiever? Is that a high value person or a low value person?" These things just irritate me. They irritate me. I mean, I'm not in America so at the moment, but I am extraordinarily American, and you know, I'm seeing this online, which is where America very much is. And the thing is, I have actually been getting irritated at this for years. This is nothing new, this level of irritation, to be honest. I really just feel like it's rude, or I don't know. There's something about those questions or those criteria for judging another human being that feel not great. Now, this is not in any way to say that somebody who doesn't mean good for another person, another human being, or is trying to leech off of them, or any of those things. This is not a way to give people like that an out. It's just those phrases that I notice more and more often. And it's not only in the Black community. I'm hearing those phrases, like, or the equivalent, in just about all the online discourse that I'm listening to. And look, I'm Generation Jones, okay? I was born in 58, one of those extraordinarily fortunate people who was born with one foot in the non-internet world and one foot squarely in the internet world. I kind of like it, to be honest with you, because it gives you a very unique and interesting perspective on things. Like, you know that, yeah, this may be how things are now, but this is not how things were then. Now, what you do with that perspective is a whole other thing. I am not a conservative in any way, shape, or form. The whole idea of the conservative project being to stand in front of progress and say stop, I'm the person who's going to push that hand down and progress anyway. However, I think it's worth perhaps looking at some of the language that we use, the communication we use with each other as human beings. So, where did that come from? You know, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? What table? What are you talking about? Is he a high value person, or is she a low value person, or what? Is there a high achiever or low achiever? Now, I should say on the high achiever or low achiever thing, when it comes to the job that pays you the money that you invest in your life, there I get the high achiever part. If that's what you want to be. You don't have to, but if that's what you want to be. I think being a high achiever in, basically transactionally for the money that you make that powers your life and the life of your loved ones, that's a reasonable thing to be to me. But once you leave work, you're just a person, and where's the table? What table? Why do you have to? I mean, I'd like to be a reasonable achiever. Once I get home, a reasonable achiever is fine. Whatever reasonable means to me, right? Like, I got a lot of projects that I'm juggling. I guess I'm a multi-potentialite. Oh, that word makes me crazy. There's got to be a better way to put it, but I am. I'm a multi-potentialite. And if I have a lot of things going at the same time. But for me, that's reasonable. It's a very specific to me assessment, right? But if your assessment of another human being that you want to be in a romantic relationship with, or a sexual relationship with, or a friend relationship with, whatever it is, if what do you bring to the table, and or is this a high achieving person or a low achieving person, or a high quality person or a low quality person, if those are your criteria, I worry a bit that it may not be the most effective way to connect with the people that you want to be in your life, right? I mean, for me, obviously, this is years and years and years ago, okay? I got that part. Years and years ago, how I met and fell in love with Bobby, my ex-husband, who is a good buddy even now. We were in the same commune, so we knew each other. We saw each other deal with very tough situations and also wonderful situations. We did a lot of exploring of many different kinds, and that relationship evolved over time, right? I don't think I think about the idea of him being a quality person or a high achieving person or what he brings to the table. I don't remember that I did. I knew heart to heart, spirit to spirit, that this was somebody I wanted to have in my life for the time we were together. Same thing with my other longest relationship with Tim. Tim was my audio engineering teacher in a little class in Moogie's studio in New York City. And I am not a particularly good audio engineer, but that's not his fault. I had a lot of trouble with signal flow. But I fell in love. We fell in love with each other, and we were together for about 7 years. And I don't remember even then thinking, oh, is this a high quality person or a low quality person? I just thought, oh, this is a wonderful person. This is a person whose energy fits mine, who's complementary in terms of his way of looking at the world. I mean, we're very different people, but oh man, yeah, that was really amazing. In fact, I haven't seen him in years, and I hope he's okay wherever he is. Yeah, the high value, high quality, low quality, and this table that people keep talking about, it does make me cringe in the here and now. And I guess, I'm not really sure. But with this kind of thing, I like to sort of do a little checking. So let's dig in and find out where these phrases came from. I did some research and I got some interesting results. Let me do a little reading here. In 2011, Rebecca Wanzo created a paper called Black Love is Not a Fairy Tale. Very interesting. Very deep dive. Language is a little above me, but definitely worth reading. Well, the American dream rhetoric is shorn up by the privileging of psychology over empiricism. Also, one of my favorite thinkers, F.D. Signifier, he did a whole video called Understanding the Black Manosphere. It gives a deep breakdown of this trend with a section about some of the worst modern offenders like Kevin Samuels, who's gone, and Andrew Tate, who's still here. Check these out for more learning. Well, I'm not an academic. Let's make that clear right from the jump. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, a bottle of salt. And I think this phrasing irritates me for a reason. And I come to the conclusion that I'm part of Black culture. I'm fairly much an Afro-punk atheist, which might be a little bit non-mainstream Black culture. I was brought up deeply rooted in a Black Baptist background, but I did break away into much more multicultural context in and after high school. So that may also speak to my irritation with this, just hearing folks around me say it more and more and more and sort of getting annoyed. Like, what? What do you bring to the table? And also, another good point is, since Black culture moves American culture, I bet this is a phrasing that kind of represents an idea that's used much more broadly than only in the Black community. I betcha. I mean, Andrew Tate shouldn't be a watchword for anything except how not to be a person. I don't have a good succinct conclusion here. If you feel like these phrases protect you or give you effective results in some way, go on with your bad self. I just know for me and my DMs, I would rather you not. And in fact, I'll leave you with the incomparable Bell Hooks' argument in All About Love in 1999 She argues that consumer culture and traditional gender roles feed us a lot of myths about love, but that love is an action, not a feeling, not a transaction. And that's the direct opposite of anything that's on anybody's table.